Hello, dear friends. Welcome to today's free webinar. We have so many interesting things to discuss. I'm so glad that, wow, finally we have a new beginning, very close. So we are going to talk all about it. Mercury finally turning direct. We have a new moon in Leo. We have some very interesting aspects related to this new moon. So if I have to be completely honest, I just cannot wait for Mercury to turn direct. I'm not sure about you, but this time I felt this transition of Mercury very, very intense. Maybe because of the eclipses, maybe because it's in my ascendant sign, Cancer, but it was quite a mess. The great news is that this week, so the 31st Wednesday, we have both Mercury turning direct and also the new moon in Leo. So it's definitely a new beginning. It's definitely a great time to begin something, to start new projects, to be more inspired, to live with more passion. So honestly, I just can't wait for this transition to come. Okay, so we are going to talk about Mercury, we are going to talk about the new moon, and also the weekly aspects. So during this video, we are going to comment and share and chat about different interesting astrological aspects. Let me remind you also that you can still sign up for the waitlist for MarStars Astrology Academy. The enrollment will begin really, really soon. So if you're interested in learning astrology, make sure to sign up. Links are below the video. Now, let me see if I will be able to share my screen with you guys. I believe last time we had some issues with that. Just like me. Okay. Yeah, I think I will be able. Okay. So this is the chart of the new moon. We can start with discussing the most important aspects of the new moon and of course how it can affect the signs, each of the signs. Make sure to listen to your sun and ascendant sign. Now, new moon in Leo, 9 degrees Leo, happens on the 31st of July, a little bit before midnight, so 11:21 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, at the same time, we have also a stellium of planets in Leo. Look what's happening here. We have the sun and the moon, of course, but we also have Venus and Mars there. So a huge, powerful stellium of planets in Leo. On top of that, the sun is the ruler of the sign Leo. So the sun is very, very powerful and strong here in this stellium. At the same time, the transit Jupiter has a trine with this stellium. Jupiter, which is also extremely strong in Sagittarius, bringing even more energy, more opportunities for growth and expansion. And the only challenging aspect we have is by Uranus. Uranus, which squares the new moon and which potentially can bring some kind of unexpected situations. We may find ourselves more impulsive, more impatient, sometimes acting, in a very untypical way, in a new way. So prepare for some surprises. And pay attention, guys. We have 5 planets in fire signs: the stellium in Leo and Jupiter. So fire energy dominates here. What does it mean when the fire energy dominates? It means that, okay, so can you guys see? Okay, it looks like you cannot see the screen sharing. Okay, sorry for that. I'm not sure. After all, Mercury is still retrograde, so no worries. Later, probably tomorrow, I will post the chart on my Facebook group, on my Facebook page. If you are not there, if you don't follow the page, you can do that by the link below this video. So I will show you the chart there on the Facebook page. So yes, these are the aspects. Basically, I've shared them with you. The sun in conjunction with the moon and Mars and Venus there in Leo. Jupiter trining the stellium, bringing more positive energy for growth and expansion and desire to do something, to do something remarkable, to do something which will inspire other people as well. And on the other hand, we have Uranus squaring. Uranus squaring the new moon, which can bring the surprises, the unexpected situations. And at the same time, also, this is a great time to do something brand new. Uranus really helps us to move forward, to take some risks. So even though this is a challenging aspect, the square with Uranus is challenging, it may actually help us, boost our energy or motivation, or even bring us more courage. So as I always like to remind you, it really depends on how we use the energy of the transits, the aspects, and everything. But in my opinion, this is gonna be a very powerful new moon. Very, very powerful, very positive. The sun, as we said, is extremely strong. Jupiter, which supports, is also very strong. So if you have something on your mind, something that you would like to start, something that you need courage for, something that is creative, this is a great time to make the first step or put more efforts in this direction. And generally, not to be afraid to attract attention. Remember that Leo, the sign of the sun, it's all about being the leading actor, being in front of other people, attracting attention, receiving appreciation by other people. So, very powerful time when all of that can work for you in a very unexpected way, in a way that can bring you also growth in the future. On top of that, Mercury is gonna be retrograde at the exact moment of the new moon, but literally minutes after the new moon, Mercury changes the direction. So it's also interesting. Basically, it means that Mercury will be stationary. So this is a time when the mind can be extremely active. And keep in mind also that you may need a little bit more time to take certain decisions. When Mercury is moving really slow, this is not the time to rush things too much, especially when it comes to decision making. But as we said, literally a couple of minutes after the new moon, Mercury also shifts the direction. All of that happens, again, I repeat, on Wednesday late in the evening. And according to that, from Thursday, or let's give it to Friday, this would be a great time to start new things. We have a green light for new projects. The communication between people can improve. As I said already, for me, those last couple of weeks were very, very difficult to be planned. So many unexpected things happen. We were traveling, and all of that which you read in the books, in the articles, happened. Things forgotten, things, complicated. Also expectations which weren't, matched. All of that which you can imagine happened. So I really cannot wait for Mercury to turn direct, and things should go back to normal. With Mercury direct, usually, it's easier to plan, it's easier um, to communicate also with other people. So Mercury will be, let me check again, but I believe on the 24 degree in Cancer, yes. 24 degrees in Cancer is the exact position where Mercury will change its direction. So specifically on this day, on Wednesday, you may notice that things are quite intense. But after that, from Thursday and especially from Friday, you may notice that, everything is smoother, things are flowing faster, easier. So, yeah, lots of expectations and hopes related to this new moon, which we have very, very soon. Now, I would like to share also a couple of words for each of the signs, how this new moon can affect you. So, what we are going to discuss is the house position of the new moon for each of the signs. So, basically, this would be this would be the area where you may start something, where it would be great for you to take certain risks, where it would be wonderful to attract attention, to do something new, to be remarkable, to be impressive. So never forget that new moons are new beginnings, basically the beginning of a new 20-day cycle, but also this is time to take action, especially when the new moon is in a fire sign, Leo. So whatever you're dreaming of, whatever you want to manifest in your life, don't forget that you need to take action. Mars is also there in conjunction with the sun, the moon, and Venus. So it will help you to be more courageous. Also, Venus will help you to enjoy things, enjoy the process, to be more passionate about things, and also to invest more emotions, to include your heart into what you are about to do, what you are about to start. So overall, great, great new moon for us. Okay. Which sign do you look for, the sun or the rising sign? Both. I look at both of the signs, but I would say that very often you will find the rising sign being the more important one. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about each of the signs. As usual, we start with Mars. Oh, sorry, with Aries. Okay, we begin with Aries. For you guys, the new moon will activate fifth house. So it would be a great time to do something that you love. Fifth house is one of the most positive houses in the chart. So wonderful period to do something creative, something that you enjoy. Wonderful period for love, a new love affair, or something which will bring more emotions in your life. So overall, Aries are one of the luckiest signs. For Taurus, the new moon activates fourth house, which means more focus on family and home issues. Great time to do something new at home. Maybe think about having your own home or making a reconstruction or something that will help you to be happier at home, to enjoy it, to feel, more comfortable there. It may also include relationship with family members, doing something together, for example, or doing something for a family member. This is the most important area. For Gemini, the new moon activates third house, so it's a great time for new contacts, for more communication, for learning new things, and of course, for traveling. You may find that you have new creative ideas, but don't forget also to take action. For Gemini, this is a great position because third house, is connected to the energy of Gemini. So it might be very, very inspiring for you guys, especially in terms of mental things like new ideas, new projects, communication, learning, traveling, the key things related to those energies. For Cancer, new moon activates second house, so material, practical projects, things that can help you to improve your financial situation, or even if it's not about money, something related to your resources, your personal belongings, something that helps you to be more grounded, more connected to nature, to the earth. Wonderful time to pay attention also to your physical energy, your health as well. But don't forget, focus on practical, material, measurable things. For Leo, of course, for you guys, this new moon is the most important one during the whole year. It activates your first house, especially if you have your sun or ascendant between the 4th and the 14th degree. So I would give at least 5-degree orbits plus minus of the new moon. And if that's the case, if your sun is there or your ascendant between those degrees, 4th and 14th, it means that new moon is in conjunction with your sun or ascendant sign. So it really triggers you. It really pushes you to do something, to initiate, to be brave, to attract attention, to be independent also. So for Leos, it's really a big deal. Also, let's not forget that Mercury was retrograde in your sign at the beginning of the retrograde period. So more or less, this also shows that, after Mercury turns direct, things might be quite different for you and also in a way smoother and easier. For Virgo, the new moon activates 12th house, so it's not so much about material stuff. It's more about internal experiences, spiritual things, something that you are doing on your own, maybe completing something which you have done during the past 1 year, preparing yourself for the new beginning, which comes next month. So now it's more a period of preparation, relaxation. Find time for yourself to take care of your inner self, and sometimes just to spend some time alone. It's highly recommended when something triggers your 12th house to find time for relaxation, for just just to be on your own for a while. For Libra, new moon activates 11th house, which means great time for social projects, for communication with other people, especially some communities or groups or friends, doing something together, doing something with a social importance for others, or which will impact many people, or which includes many people. Why not also finding new friends or doing something for your friends? So the main focus is on communication, connections with others. For Scorpio, a very important new moon because it activates your 10th house, the house of career, the house related to your social reputation, maybe your business. So if you guys have an idea about a business or some kind of working project, don't procrastinate. This is a great time for you to start it, to make the first step, to take some risks, to be brave. So for Scorpio, it's really one of the most important new moons during the whole year. So just go for it. For Sagittarius, new moon activates 9th house, also one of the most important, actually not most important, but most positive houses in the chart. The house related to our belief system, to our future goals, to our philosophical understanding of life. So also great for traveling, for defining what's your long-term direction. What kind of goals would you like to achieve? What really inspires you? And just maybe make a vision board or dream big. Don't be afraid to to ask for more. Very often I find this issue that people are kind of afraid to ask more for more, maybe because they don't believe, maybe for different reasons. But don't be afraid. Okay, so what do we have next? Sagittarius. Okay, next we have Capricorn, of course, my dear sun sign friends. For us, it's a quite intense new moon because it activates eighth house. So deep transformational processes, things related to your financial situation, things related to um, mutual finances, or also energy, exchange of energy, balancing your energy. And yes, it could be sometimes quite intense. There might be, not always is simple. With eighth house, we have to be prepared for those transformations. But if you are interested in spiritual things, occult things, exploring something, learning something, which I believe many of the people here are, then this can actually be quite productive time to dive deeper into something, explore, learn, especially when it comes to, as we said, occult stuff or science also. Next, we have Aquarius. For you guys, seventh house is activated by the new moon. So the main focus is on relationships, close one-on-one personal relationships with your romantic partner, with your business partners, or any other close friend. So obviously, it's a wonderful time for starting a new relationship, for falling in love, for doing something together with another person, maybe doing something together with your spouse or with your business partner, or creating new partnerships as well. If you are a public figure or you work with clients, seventh house represents that as well. So it could be a great time to do something together for your audience or for your clients as well. But as we said, the main focus is on the other person, other people. And finally, we have Pisces. For Pisces, the new moon activates sixth house. So focus on work, career, daily routines, and also health. Great time to begin something new, whether this would be a business project or some kind of new activity, daily activity. And of course, don't forget health. It could be a great time to start a new health regime, or maybe a new diet or new type of therapy, which can help you to generally improve your life. But let me remind you again, new moon in a fire sign, it really requires you to be the person who finds the right actions, and actually who does something. So it's not just about waiting for things to be presented to you. It's about going after the things that you want, the things that you really need in your life, which is true for everyone, by the way. The fire new moon, especially with dominant fire element overall, it's just it screams that you need to take action, which I believe is something we haven't talked about for the last couple of weeks, maybe even 1-2 months, with all of those eclipses, retrograde periods. We were kind of, stuck for a while, waiting for things to pass. Now things are shifting after Wednesday. Okay, so now I would like to go through each of the days, sharing the most important astrology events so that you can plan your week, schedule things, know what you can expect. After that, I can answer some questions. If you have some questions, you will be able to ask me. I will do my best to answer. Okay, today, the 29th of July, Monday, we have a quite intense, challenging aspect. The Sun squares Uranus. So it might be quite surprising. It might be, your reactions also might be more impulsive. For example, maybe 20 minutes before the webinar, I had a phone call and I realized that I really overreacted. I got really annoyed by a very small issue and I really reacted very impulsively. And I realize now when I look at these aspects that it's one of the reasons for this reaction of mine. So don't rush things too much. You may find that, the nervous system is more sensitive. You may respond in a very different way, but also you may really want to do something differently. When Uranus has an important position, it doesn't really matter whether this is a positive or challenging. It's always about changes. Changes, doing something new, experimenting. So when it's a square, of course, it shows that things might be more intense and there might be some kind of struggles and challenges, but we still have the opportunity to make a shift. So don't be afraid of challenging aspects. The transit moon is in Cancer on Monday, so people are more emotional, more vulnerable, maybe not really, physically powerful, because when the moon is in a water sign, it's more about emotions, it's more about also the need to relax, the need to stay at home or spend time with your family members. So, yeah, just go for it. Now, also, when I realize this aspect, actually when I focus on that, the Sun squared by Uranus, I'm also sensing how I'm speaking very fast. I'm not sure, I think that normally I don't speak so fast, and I believe that this is also because of the Uranus influence. So I will try to bring some awareness to this, more consciousness, and to focus on that, to become calmer. I don't have to rush so much. Yes. So Uranus can really bring this, intense desire, or, well, how can I explain it? Really, this type of behavior where you're looking kind of restless, moving a lot, or acting in a little bit, different way. But when we are conscious of that, when we are aware of that, we may really do something to, you know, to change things. Tuesday, Tuesday, the 30th of July. First of all, let me remind you that we are going to have an invisible moon there. Before the new moon, we always have an invisible moon. So you need to be extra careful. And honestly, I would recommend you to avoid important new things. So don't start something which you really want to be long lasting or stable. The invisible moon is not supportive for that. You may notice also that you don't have so much energy, that things are not so smooth for you. Again, it's very important to be conscious of that, to accept that, and to respect it, especially when the moon is in Cancer and invisible at the same time. This may really be just a great time for relaxation, to take some time for yourself, for your internal experiences of how you feel, to connect with family members. The other two aspects on Tuesday are also not supportive, or not so supportive for being very, very active in some areas. We have a square and a half between Venus and Neptune. This aspect can also make you more dreamy, or not so grounded, fantasizing about something, maybe even having some kind of illusions about something. There might be potential disappointments in regards to personal things, love things, and so on. On the positive side, you might be more creative, you might be really inspired, so you can always use this aspect for something creative. Neptune has another aspect, the quincunx with Mars, which is a complicated aspect. At first, there might be challenges, which in this case can bring possible complications, or honestly, sometimes this aspect can bring laziness. You may want to procrastinate, to postpone things. Well, just try to take it easier. And I believe that this would be the better strategy for Tuesday, just not to rush things too much, to find time to relax, maybe a short meditation, which can help you to, reconnect with yourself. That would be the best thing. Then we have Wednesday, the 31st of July, the last day of the month, but at the same time, the new beginning of a new period. Mercury turning direct. So, as we already said, after that, green light for doing things, taking action, communication improves, understanding between people improves. You can count more that, your plans will be accomplished as you have imagined. And the new moon in Leo, also the new beginning, more creativity, more inspiration, more desire to do something. At the same time, Wednesday is not the day for the new beginnings yet. With Mercury stationary and the new moon in this exact day, I would still recommend you not to start the new things, but you may feel like the energy increases and it's getting stronger and stronger within you. And on the next day, Thursday, things can be different. As we said, Mercury still a little slow, but already direct. And on Thursday, the 1st of August, we don't have major aspects between the planets except for the moon, which is still in Leo, and will make a trine with Jupiter and conjunction with Mars. So overall, the energy is higher. It's a great time for some entertainments, doing things that you love, things that you enjoy, things that you are passionate about. You may find that also you're more impatient, that you want to rush things too much because of the conjunction with Mars. But this aspect also can allow you to do more things that you like, to take some risks even when you're not able to please everyone, which can also be important. Friday, the 2nd of July, sorry, the 2nd of August, we are going to have a square between Venus and Uranus. Exciting aspect which can bring surprises, new things in regards to relationships, but also lack of stability. So people, emotionally might be unpredictable. So be very cautious of how you treat them, especially your closest people, your partners, and provide freedom. When Uranus and Venus are connected, actually, every time when Uranus is very strong, it requires more freedom, to provide more freedom to our partners, to other people. So expect something new, expect something unpredictable, surprising. There might be also intense emotions like ups and downs. But what can help us in this case is the position of the moon which is in Virgo. which can help you to be more grounded, to be more focused on practical things, maybe taking care of your health or doing some business tasks or organizing something. Moon in Virgo is very helpful. On the 3rd of August, Saturday, the moon is still in Virgo and it has two wonderful aspects with Saturn and Pluto, which are in Capricorn. So, Saturday, even though it's supposed to be a day for relaxation for many people, it can still be a very productive day when you can get some rational decisions, you can be reasonable, you can be responsible, you may do something patiently by being focused on the details, being precise. So Saturday can be a great day to do something at home, maybe clean the house, just get rid of things that you don't like, to bring more fresh energy there. And the 4th of August, Sunday, Mars quincunx with Pluto. Interesting aspect, which at first may bring possible challenges. We might be really focused on doing something, passionately focused, maybe even obsessed about something. Power struggles are possible at the same time, or people who are trying to control something that we need to be careful with. So, quite intense aspect, but at the same time, it can make you really passionate and devoted on something. The moon will be in Libra on Sunday as well. So focus on relationships, on personal things, on just, enjoying things and spending time with the people that you love, your partner, your spouse, or any other person who you truly love and appreciate. So, as you can see, this week is quite interesting. Uranus is in an intense position, which means that we should expect some surprises, some new things. At the same time, it might be very exciting and interesting. And Wednesday is the day of the new beginning, with Mercury turning direct and the new moon in Leo. So, we have covered the most important things very quickly, actually. So, that's how Uranus works. It's, yes, you're trying to do everything faster. Now, if you have some questions, you are welcome to type them. I will try to answer. New moon will be in conjunction with my sun in fifth house. It means that this new moon will affect you very strong. It means that personally you should start something. Basically, everything that we talked about, fifth house, the position of the new moon in fifth house, is very, very important for you. Do something that you love, do something that you are passionate about, take some risks. Fifth house is also about taking risks, by the way. And yeah, do something that you love. I have such a busy day today and also work very productively. Proud with myself. Okay, I'm also proud with you. I would say that I was also quite productive today, even though I had to travel for more than 2 hours and some other stuff. But yes, I was also productive today. Let me see. I almost overreacted too. I have been breathing fire through my nose all day. Yeah, very typical for the Uranus impact to make us kind of, yeah, impulsive and overreacting. Okay, Tony is writing here something in Bulgarian. Thank you for joining us, Tony. Let me go back a little bit. New moon will be opposing my sun and conjunct ascendant. Okay, very, very interesting. So the focus is on you doing something independently, doing something on your own. Maybe not so much relying on partners or other people, doing something on your own. Okay, I wanted to say new moon lays on my Mars, not Leo. I'm sorry, I don't understand this. Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you all, guys. Conjunct Jupiter. Okay, so it's a great position. It means that also the transit Jupiter is trining your natal Jupiter, even if the aspect is not completely exact right now. So it would be a great time for some expansion, for growth, for learning things, for focusing on your beliefs. Mars is in Leo in the 12th house. Uh-huh. Okay, so it still means that you have to take some action, but probably something privately, something on your own, something which is not so much for other people, it's more for you. Yes, it's an interesting, and at the same time, there is a contradiction here, Mars, but 12th house. So there is still, the need to take some action, but maybe more on your own. New moon on Mars in 10th house, activating first and sixth house. Okay, so it's about work, it's about business, it's about things that you're doing and which are noticed by other people as well. So, quite motivating position. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we still have some time, but I would like also to let you know that I will be having another free webinar. It should be not this Sunday, but next Sunday. I guess it's the 11th of August. Of course, I will let you know. I will send you an email, but it will be live here on YouTube. And we are going to talk about some interesting stuff for people who are wondering what they can get by learning astrology. So I will explain my story, my path, how I found astrology, what I have gained by this, but also I will give advices to people who would like to use astrology on their own, whether professionally or for people they like, love, or for anyone, and many other advices. Also, I will explain more about MarStars Astrology Academy. Again, let me remind you, if you would like to sign up for the waitlist, the link is below the video. Can it work the same way if falls on progressed moon and close to progressed Venus? Yeah, it also activates them. I have used also transits on progressions and they work as well. So why not the progressed moon? Sorry, why not the new moon there as well? Yeah, I'm glad July with the eclipses and Mercury is ending. For me, it was, I would say, the most interesting period of Mercury retrograde for a very, very long time. Difficult at the same time, but many things from the past kind of reappeared for me, and I was able to really have a different perspective. So I guess that sometimes I will share this with you because I think it can be beneficial for many people, but in a way I'm also happy it's ending. Yes, and I'm preparing some interesting stuff for you guys. As I said, on the 11th of August there will be a free webinar. During September I've also planned probably 2 free webinars. So make sure to check the channel. Also, the Facebook page, I will announce there the webinars. The link is below the video if you're not following the page yet. Or you can also sign up for the email list for email updates on my website. Okay, so yeah, I think that we've covered the most interesting stuff during next week. As I said, really soon I will make another webinar and we'll be able to, talk generally about astrology, how it can help you. Also, some kind of, I don't want to call it rules, but more like my understandings about astrology, which I believe can be helpful for other people. So, if you have some questions about approaching how to learn astrology or something like that, you are welcome to join us and ask your questions then. Okay, as usual, it was a real pleasure for me. With this Mercury retrograde, there was also a week when I wasn't able to record a weekly horoscope. I have apologized for that. It happens for the first time, but yes, sometimes, things happen. I really hope that from next week everything will go back to normal with publishing the weekly horoscopes on time and so on. Thank you very much for being here, for your energy, for all of your support. Yeah, and I'll see you soon. Have a nice week, everyone. And let me know in the comments how are you feeling during the week, especially after Wednesday. On Thursday, on Friday, do you feel the shift happening? It would be interesting actually to observe. Have a wonderful week, everyone.